What's the purpose behind the marketing plan? You excite, you educate, experience, and engage. Let's do this, right? Let's do this and let's have fun with it too. To my first-time listeners, thank you for joining the show. I appreciate you being here. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Marketing with the podcast, where I'm your host, Nathan Webster, and I'm excited to chop it up with you today. For today's episode, sorry, I got something stuck in my throat. Woo! Man, I guess maybe because I was going through what we got to be talking about. Sean Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy. Don't even. Oh, wait, wrong song. Let me not mess this. I don't want to play anyone bad. I mean, all this because we talking about Diddy, and the question is, was he a marketing genius? So I'm gonna use this episode. I'm gonna put it in the show notes, and make sure let me bookmark this because I was doing some homework and I realized this is something I got to talk about in this year. I didn't talk about all last year, but I got to talk about this year. So to my first-time listeners, thank you for joining the show and seeing what's up. And to my worldwide listeners, thank you for always rocking with me. I appreciate you more than you know, but I think I tell you all the time because the goal of the podcast is to make the ambiguity of marketing more simplistic and easier from key decision makers down to startups. Apply what you learn immediately and see the difference in your business. So when I talk about when it comes to trends, business principles, marketing fundamentals, I want it all to click, y'all, because, marketing is hard. I define marketing as an untamed beast that never sleeps, always devouring content. And, content never stops. So with that, let's get into it. So all of a sudden, Sean Diddy, Sean Combs, P. Diddy, Puffy, Puff Daddy, whatever you want to call them, I have to bring it back to marketing because I'm going to ask you, is he a marketing genius? Because in the things that he's done, from Biggie to now with this video that when I was researching about what is really going on with, with Club Shay Shay, these conversations, right? With all these things that are happening and more is being undiscovered. And maybe not all will come to surface. Maybe it will. I don't know. Maybe like Epstein, maybe that will come to the surface. I don't know. We all got dirt, right? So in this coming to the dirt, like, I'm seeing all these things of these documentaries now. People have already reported. They've already had lawsuits. And then I just think about the issue with, like, I remember when him and J-Lo was a thing, right? And I'm like, man, he was and then it's kind of like, well, I remember when 50 said, Jay-Z did what no one could do and got with Beyonce, right? That was a marketing move. He talked about it in his book. I was like, man, look what Diddy, he had J-Lo, right? When J-Lo was up and coming, after the, as it before Ben and she went back to Ben. I can't keep up with the Benifer. I think that was happening. But I was, what I did was, and I'll share this article with you. Let me share my screen real fast because I was like, this is kind of interesting when I just Googled, this, as you see in this article here, I put Diddy, and that's actually the wrong screen that I'm sharing. Let me share you the right one because I Googled Sean Diddy Combs' deflating net worth from billionaire to jailmate. And what really got me going down this route is I was looking at the top 10 videos of 2024. The most unforgettable moments of 2024, and it shows the video where Cassie was going down this hallway in the elevator. And if you haven't seen it by now, it's all over the place. You probably have. I'm not going to play it, But that was like the number one video of, it says Sean Combs assaulting Cassie. And I'm not going to go into it because I want to go over how Diddy, in my opinion, was a marketing genius. And I don't really know how much skills, as in entertainment ability, he had in regards to singing, rapping. I know he could dance, but he just had an eye in regards for talent. And in the talent, he said the right things, right? When you go over the fundamentals of marketing with the 4 Ps of product, price, place, and channel, he knocked that down. But the product, it was the people, it was the service. And no matter what he was doing, when we start looking at his net worth, in 2022, they said his net worth seemed to be rising. And they were like, from billionaire, where right now they say his net worth hovers around 300 million for now. But that could change with as they're talking about all his bills, right? Legal bills. Right here, they have a picture of him on the stock exchange. I don't know what any other entertainment mogul or celebrity has been on the cover, or excuse me, on the stock exchange. And this was back in 2002, very early, like 20 plus years ago. And so they were like, if you look at the spirits, like, who chooses someone to be an influencer before they're like, we have influencer? We've always had influencers. And I think back, my first influencer I probably remember was OJ Simpson with the OJ commercial, running through. It wasn't I forget let me just go ahead and Google it. OJ Simpson, I think running through the airport. I forget which commercial. It was like part of it was Hertz, which I thought was funny. It was a Hertz commercial. And that was 1978. Wow, that's crazy because I was born in 78. So, when we talk about influencer, he was an influencer when he didn't create anything. When we talk about multinational companies and the business side of the house, of where you have to produce and market, promote, and sell in a country for a multinational company, he didn't have those skill sets, but he had the influencer skill set. He had real estate at 100 million. Private investment wasn't a lot. Catalog and intellectual capital property wasn't a lot, which I thought was very interesting. And when I kept scrolling, that was it. Like, you see that, right? I was just like, hold on, is that it? No, there's not really that much at all, which was disappointing. I was like, this is it? How was he making money? So let me cancel out of here. Let me go back to here. And so I started off by, I wanted to know his net worth, because as a marketing genius, you know where to go to follow the money. You know who's pushing what. And we can jump to Wikipedia, where his net worth was almost, I guess, at 1 billion as estimates. And I don't know, right? When you look at this, it's like, how was he worth almost $1 billion? And was it because of the money? The Bad Boy Records? Here's where I'm not going to go get into it, but, I'm sure the Economic Times, which I don't have access to, you have to pay for these things. They're, definitely going to go into it. And I'm not going to go into it because, look, this is something I don't really want to talk about on the show, from racketeering, human trafficking, and on top of that, he did drugs. He did some hardcore drugs, and again, I'm not going to talk about it, so let me stop sharing my screen, because what I wanted to just throw out there to the folks that wanted to get on there was, Diddy a marketing genius? And I have to say he was. He was a marketing genius that understood how to engage with the people to get what he wanted out of them. And here's where, like, in some ways, Diddy was like a used car salesman. And again, that's why I didn't want to get into the other stuff, because we go into some character flaws. We go into some character issues that people knew. And if you just Google, like, and I showed you that one thing was someone says he's a monster. That is a world I can't even fathom. I have no idea. But when it comes to marketing, Diddy was a genius that unfortunately took some of the best things and made and you can, there's other examples which we could talk about. R. Kelly in the same way. He was a songwriter, a great songwriter, but when you like listen to music, it's like, who was he writing that for? He was a sexual predator. It's like, wow. Like, don't think, and this is the moral. Why? And you say, Nathan, why are you talking about this on the show? Like, I thought this is about like business, practical stuff. Like, I just got hit up with somebody that asked me, like, hey, I got this phone call and they want me to do this, but if anytime I need a marketing, I was going to come to you. Why am I telling you this about Diddy, and why am I asking you this question? Why did we get to this far? Is because you got some marketing geniuses out there that are predators seeking the worst way to expedite the extradition of your cash out of your bank account into their bank account, because they know the right things to say. It's like the Key and Peele script of that one telemarketing thing. They know the right thing to say, to push the button, to get you to react, to get you to engage, because Diddy knew how to work people. And with marketing or with sales, it doesn't matter, because sales, like I've said, is married to marketing, and marketing is married to sales. They're different, but they're married. He got to people in the way of where they didn't want to do what he asked them to do until he convinced them. And this is what is happening with some small businesses. These salespeople, these Diddies, are getting small businesses to do what you don't want them to do, and they doing it. And then after it happens, you're like I knew it was a scam, or I knew it wasn't bad, but you should have said something, right? Or you say I should have asked, but who would you have to ask? And this is the phone call or the text I got today, and I just wanted to make sure that folks know and understand there are folks out there that are great, like phenomenal, great at selling you something that only benefits them. So there are a lot of Diddies out there, and you can see many people getting scammed. And you know someone that got scammed. They might not talk about it, but in marketing, I made my career in the very beginning selling marketing packages. But first, I had to do damage control to people that got hustled, hoodwinked, bamboozled, whatever you want to call it, from Diddies out there selling websites, ads, graphics, and leads. Like, oh, I got X amount of hot leads, warm leads that I just got to convert. Just got to happen like that. And then they start getting mad at me. It's like, hey, I'm not the one that showed you that. I'm not the one that told you to change your website. I'm not the one that told you to buy this ad. I'm not the one that told you to create another profile. I'm not the one that told you to get this number. Or even worse, I'm not the one that told you to accept that payment and transfer money. It's like, what were you thinking? But this is where we say in Domino's, all money ain't good money. So when it comes to growing your business, on the marketing tip, as I say, marketing is an untamed beast that never sleeps. You have to give the people what they want. It's not about what you want. It's about what they want. And Diddy knew how to get people to say yes. And as Grant Cardone says, you either being sold or you're selling. Or you're either selling or you're being sold. Which one are you doing? And so I just want to say, like, there's some Diddies out there. Y'all got to be on the lookout for them, because I don't want y'all to get took, which is why I say in the beginning of the podcast, the goal of this podcast is to make the ambiguity of marketing more simplistic, but as you can tell, I'm trying to use other examples as in trends, as real people, real things, real venues, real examples, real stories to help you understand your marketing is truly a strategy. Don't use tactics to get what you want. Use a strategy that can be deployed for the long time. But if it ain't good, at the end of the day, we know with Diddy, you about to get caught up. Don't get caught up, because there's going to be so many people that you're going to hurt. And most importantly, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt your business. And don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. You heard it first here with Nathan A. Webster. If you got any other topics you want me to talk about, let me know. Let's dissect them. Let's break it down. Let's see how that can make your business better, because sometimes that very thing that you've been thinking about, it could be that thing that just needs to be unlocked. It needs to be unpacked. Maybe it needs to be explained. Let me help you. And if you need help directly, specifically, hit me up. I'm at info@nwebsterllc.com. You know where you can find me. Go to my website. Go ahead and fill out, let's discover the schedule a session. Let's talk about how to make sure your strategy is spot on, where you can make sure you are the marketing, you are not the marketing genius, but you are the value genius that is doing your thing. Let me be the marketing guy, and you can get the other thing guy or gal, or if it's not me, because it's not all about me either. Go find someone to do this for you, man. There's lots of folks out there that can deliver great marketing so you don't get slaughtered, be roadkill. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. All right, y'all. I wish you nothing but the best. And if you like the show, please rate it. Please subscribe to it to download for the next one, and share it. What's up? Come on now. Come on. If you got something out of this, hit the subscribe button. Come on. Don't play. But if not, hey, it's all good too. Again, I wish you nothing but the best. So dream big and Godspeed. I'm out. Hey, if you're hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode, and for that, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And we hope you enjoyed this new episode. And if you did, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Please share this episode with others that may be interested in this topic. And also, feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to see covered in future episodes. Get in touch in the comments or social media networks. See you next week for the next episode.